Matthew Perry, best known for playing Chandler Bing on Friends, has passed away at the age of 54. And there's not a ton of details surrounding the situation at the moment, but thanks to the internet, many of his former co-stars and friends have expressed their heartache over Matthew's passing. So let's break those down. Number 10, Paul Rudd. Currently Ant-Man and formerly Chandler's co-star on Friends. For the last 2 seasons of Friends, Paul played Mike Hannigan, Phoebe's husband. While he was not on the show for super duper long, he did remember his time quite fondly. In an interview with Today, he said that the entire experience was very surreal. The entire crew were a blast and there was definitely a lot of love on the set. In fact, he said that he felt lucky to be on such a historical sitcom. There are a handful of shows that are going to go down in history as sitcom staples, stuff that will be taught in classrooms. Friends is most certainly going to be on that list. At first, he was under the impression that they only wanted him for a few episodes, but it turns out that they liked his character and just kept writing him into the show week after week. And Paul was, of course, a free agent. When hearing of the passing of Matthew Perry, Paul shared his condolences, writing that words could not express how saddened he was to hear of Matthew's passing. He will be missed so very deeply. Despite rarely seeing this man for years, there is still so much love between them, and that right there is a good friend. Number 9, Aisha Tyler. Aisha played Charlie Wheeler on Friends, the love interest to David Schwimmer, and Matt LeBlanc, who played Ross and Joey respectively. In a guest role in the 9th season, only having spent a year with the cast on and off again, she grew close to the crew and remembers Matthew as an incredible performer with a solid work ethic and a massive heart. She wrote that he had a gentleness and generosity of spirit that was unparalleled, and went on to say that she learned how to tell a joke just by watching Matthew Perry work. She said that she would never forget the moment that he leaned into her on the first night of taping her very first episode just to tell her warmly to get ready for her life to change. Rest well, Matthew Perry. Thank you for the kindness and the laughter, and I think that about sums it up. Number 8, Paget Brewster. Paget Brewster has been in so many TV shows over the years that her face should definitely be familiar to you. Whether it's Criminal Minds, the final season of Community, or the sitcom Friends, where she played Kathy before her rise to glory. Kathy was a guest character in season 4, a character who inadvertently starts a love triangle between herself, Chandler, and Joey that quickly leads to a brief one-on-one relationship with Chandler. The two were together for a while until Paget's character cheats on Chandler to spite him for accusing her of cheating. While her time on screen was rough and rocky, off screen it was apparently the exact opposite. Working with Matthew Perry was a joy and a privilege according to her, as she wrote on her Twitter that she was very sad to hear about Matthew Perry. He was lovely to Paget on Friends and every time she saw him in the decades since. She then urged people to read his book, which I found and quickly added to my Audible wishlist because he actually narrates it himself, so I'm buying that very soon. It was his legacy to help, and she finished by saying that Matthew would not be resting in peace because he was already too busy making people laugh upstairs. Number 7, Morgan Fairchild. Morgan played a very important role on the show in the form of Chandler's mother, Nora Tyler Bing. Nora was the woman that Chandler claimed to be the reason that he used comedy as a defense mechanism because of her extracurricular activities outside of marriage. She once tried to seduce Ross, which led to a massive confrontation between herself and Perry. She posted on Twitter that she was heartbroken about the ultimate passing of her son, Matthew Perry. The loss of such a brilliant young actor is a shock, and she is sending love and condolences to his friends and his family, especially his father, John Bennett Perry, who worked with Morgan on Flamingo Road and Falcon Crest. He was a lucky man in life with a big family, both biological and not. Number 6, Maggie Wheeler. Janice from Friends. A sitcom character that will never be forgotten because once you hear her speak, you can't forget it. It just stays in your brain rent-free 24/7. What is there to say about her character? She made Chandler's life miserable, then fun, then miserable again, and just over and over and over. Being Chandler's on and off again girlfriend meant that Maggie was on set a lot and got to spend a very good portion of her life with Matthew and the rest of the friends. After hearing about his passing, she posted online clearly mourning the loss of a very close friend. She wrote, "The world will miss you, Matthew Perry. The joy that he brought to so many people in his short time on this earth will live on forever." She feels so blessed by every moment that she was able to share with him on set, and in an interview regarding Matthew earlier this year, she actually claimed that it was difficult for herself to read his memoir. He had been through so much and overcame struggle after struggle after struggle, saying that she was so proud of this man and what he had become, and that he was extremely brave to be sharing his story with the world. Number 5, the co-creators. Marta Kaufman, David Crane, and Kevin Bright are the co-creators and executive producers of Friends. Without these 3 brilliant people, the show may not exist, and if it did, who knows who would be in the cast. They shared their condolences in a joint statement on CBS News this past Sunday. They said that they were shocked and deeply saddened by their beloved friend Matthew's passing. It still seems impossible. All they can say is that they feel that their lives have been blessed for having him as a part of them. They continued to say that he was a brilliant talent, and it's cliche to say that an actor makes a role their own, but in Matthew's case, there were no truer words. From the first day that they first heard and saw him embodying the role of Chandler Bing, there was nobody else to beat him. They will always cherish the joy, the light, and the blinding intelligence that he brought to every moment. Not just his work, but in his life as well. He was always the funniest person in the room, and more than that, he was the sweetest, with a grieving, selfless heart. They send their love to his family and friends, ending by saying that this was truly the one where our hearts were broken. Number 4. Warner Brothers. The company that produced the show Friends reacted to Perry's passing in a company statement released over the weekend. The company claimed to be devastated by Matthew's passing as he was a dear friend to everyone, especially the people at the studio. Matthew was an incredibly gifted actor and an indelible part of the Warner Brothers television group family. The impact of his comedic genius was felt around the world, and his legacy will live on in the hearts of millions. It is a heartbreaking day, and they send their love to his family, his loved ones, and his devoted fans. Number 3. The main cast. So far, the main cast, Matt LeBlanc, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, and David Schwimmer, have yet to say anything online, but it's because they're currently preparing a release joint statement together, according to some inside sources. Let's give these guys a break, considering one of their closest friends just passed away, and there is still no real clear indication as to why or how or what happened. Like, you can speculate all you want, I don't know anything, so I'm not gonna say anything. The crew are more than likely spending their time right now just reconnecting over their loss, trying to piece together how it happened or why. But trying to piece together how or why won't help, but deciding how to move on is the only thing that they can do next. I wish I had more to say for you about this, but like I said, the cast are still grieving right now, so let's just give them a chance to chill for a minute, because the first thing that they decided to do was not post on Twitter, it was to probably hug each other. Number 2, Shannen Doherty. Though never a co-star on Friends, they were briefly co-stars together in the series Beverly Hills 90210, but it turns out that they actually have known each other a lot longer than that. Following Matthew's passing, Shannen posted a lengthy tribute to Instagram about growing up with Matthew. Their friendship spanned a long time, a lifetime according to her. She is aware that many people are hurting, especially the small crew of them that spent time together as kids. She said that she could be more poetic in the moment, but that at the time, shock and sadness had prevailed. There is not a ton to say there, no jokes to be made, just a childhood friend missing her buddy. Taking the top spot on this list is everyone. Matthew Perry was an incredible performer, and despite his struggles in life, he was able to make a massive impact on people around the world. Now, whether it was through the show Friends, his memoir, the movie 17 again, there are so many reasons to love this man. I've personally only ever seen Friends all the way through one time, and it was a great show. Honestly, like, better than the jokes and the set was just the chemistry between the main cast. You could just tell that these people actually really cared about each other off camera. They were legit friends. Like, it's not a pun, they were friends. It's not something that everyone can say about their co-stars. Now, when I say everyone in this entry, I do mean everyone. Like, every celebrity has been posting some kind of a reaction or a condolence online. Khloe Kardashian, Hank Azaria, Tom Green, and even before filming this, I found out that Adele stopped her concert midway through over the weekend just so they could share a moment of silence and pay tribute to Matthew Perry. That is so cool. Adele stopped singing so she could be like, Chandler's gone, rest in peace. Like, who else could do that? Now, we hope Mr. Perry is in a better place and that he knows that he's touched the hearts of millions around the world, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So please, drop a like if you had fun or if you want to see more content. Thank you for stopping me on the screen today, and we'll see you next time.